Everyone, we are back for another episode of the Cup of Joe show. I am Joe, that is Jeremy. This is very exciting. We have finally hit May. We've gotten to the summer movie season, and our first film has come out. It's very exciting, and we will get to it later. As for right now, we didn't see a film. I didn't see a film. Did you see a film?
I thought you saw Brick Mansions.
No. Almost, but no. So, I guess that means we'll just jump right into the box office.
I feel like we've been jumping right into the box office a lot, but
Yeah.
there have been no movies to see,
Mhm.
which is going to change significantly. Well, which changed last night, but we have not seen that movie yet, which we will get to.
We'll get to.
Speaking of Brick Mansions, that opened in 5th place to $9.5 million. As far as a Paul Walker movie goes, that's actually not half bad. I mean, considering that he alone was the main draw in that, it's not bad. It's about all I can say. 4th place went to Rio 2. That was down 37% to $13.9 million, and had a total of 96.4. Rio 2 continues to lag behind the pace of its predecessor, just a little. But even still, it's going to be like $115 million, $120 million-ish earner, that's pretty solid. Number 3, Heaven is for Real. That was down 36% to $14.4 million. It has pulled in $52.5 million to date, all on a budget of just $12 million. Christian flicks are in. They're killing it this
Apparently.
year. Let's get on that. Let's make a Christian flick, and we'll
right.
be famous, and the money will just roll in.
All right, let's get on it. I'll find something.
You got a Bible around here?
Probably.
We could just read it. That would take like a year.
You're right.
Or we could act out scenes. I would have to be Jesus, and Noah, and Moses, and Samson, and Joseph, and every other character that had a beard.
This is all I could find. It's Flannery O'Connor's A Good Man is Hard to Find. It probably has Christian ties to it. Let's see. They walked on for some time on streets like this before he remembered to turn again. I am not going any further.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh my God. I think this is a book we had to read for college, and I didn't read it. And it's a good thing that I didn't continue to read this book.
There was
Anyway.
a naughty word.
Yes,
And,
I'll have to.
we try to keep this pretty PG.
Yeah. We'll have to pick up. There it is!
Oh!
This is it. Where's the light? Jeez. Okay. There we go. This is. We already have the book. We're pretty much there. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make that movie.
Wait for it.
Yep. Then we won't even have to do this show anymore.
Seriously.
We'll be making movies.
Noah? Russell Crowe, who?
Exactly.
Please. Okay, anyway. Back to the box office. Captain America the Winter Soldier was in 2nd. It continued to hold well, slipping 37% to $16.2 million. It has a total of $225 million as of last weekend. That's already like $20 million higher than Thor the Dark World, and there's more money yet to come. It is going to take a big hit this weekend, but it basically had all of April to itself anyway, so I don't think anyone involved with it is going to complain about that. Our number 1 picture was a bit of a surprise. That was The Other Woman, and that opened to $24.8 million. I don't think anyone really expected it to make that much. Most expectations were in like the mid, maybe high teens, but I guess women just needed a girls' night out kind of flick, and you know, it's always fun to see women get revenge on men, but if you reversed the genders, that movie would be sexist. So it's double standard, and I could not hold myself back from saying that. But you know it's the truth.
And that is Jeremy's views that he just shoved into his box office wrap-up. Well, yes. I'm shocked that you didn't get into your atheist views when you hit on Christianity. But yeah. Bravo on restraining from one of them. So,
Thank you. Yeah, I use all my restraint abilities on the first one.
On the first one, yes. So, I am really shocked about the other woman. Is it other woman or other women?
I'm pretty sure it's woman.
Woman, okay. Even though the movie is about other women, it's called Other Woman. So I don't know. It's I was
rather.
Yeah, I was surprised, but yeah, I think you're right, and but I'm sure John Tucker Must Die was a better film. That's all I have to say there.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, as far as the others go, I guess I never really saw the need for Rio 2. Brick Mansions actually, like you said, did pretty well for...
It did, yeah.
For a selling point of Paul Walker and horrible plot. So, I mean, other than that, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much Captain America does fall out after this, this treacherous May.
It's got a shot at overtaking the Lego Movie, but I think it'll be close between those two. For title of like winter spring champion.
Everything might not be awesome for Captain America.
But worldwide, Captain America's killing it. So.
So everything is awesome for Captain America. So that's the box office from Jeremy Evans. Did you do a May preview?
On the website? Yes, I did.
Okay, excellent. You could check both of those things out at cupofjoe.com, or you could, if you've liked our Facebook page, which you should have. If you haven't,
seriously,
I don't know what you've been doing with your life, but yeah, you should like us on Facebook. You should follow us on Twitter. I don't know why, but you should. And do whatever you do.
It looks good. It looks
Tumblr.
Professional if we have a lot of followers.
It does. So now we move on. We move on to the movies that are coming out this weekend, and I don't know what else is coming out besides, that one movie.
Yes.
The big movie.
Yes. Well, that is the only... There are a couple other, there are always these, random, indie movies that are coming out and not that many theaters, but we tend to only discuss the wide releases on this show because we're not really into the movie scene, indie movie scene. Not that there's anything wrong with those films necessarily, it's just that it's not our place, So, we're just gonna go right into The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Thoughts?
It looks very entertaining, but I'm a little scared. And I'm a little scared because there's a lot of villains. And what was one of the problems with Spider-Man 3?
Emo Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And also villains.
There are a lot of villains.
And poorly handled villains.
Right. So basically, that's what it does have going for it. You have Jamie Foxx, and you have Dane DeHaan.
Yeah.
Did I just get that right?
I believe so, yeah.
All right, yeah, and you have
Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti. So I mean, there are better quality actors in place as villains than there were in Spider-Man 3, which is good. So, but I just I don't know. I feel like it's jumping too much. But again, I could be wrong. I have no idea. Looks very entertaining, and it's definitely going to be better than Spider-Man 3. Let's say that. But I really think this movie needs to have it needs to be very successful. I feel like it needs to be good in quality, and people have to go see it, because I just feel like Sony is just hanging on to this franchise for dear life, and they did a really nice job with the first one. So I mean, we'll see what happens, but I have my doubts.
Yes. I don't blame Sony for holding on to it for dear life, because it's one of their few big franchises at the moment, and if they let the rights go back to Marvel, then they could throw Spider-Man into the Avengers 3, and that movie would make like $7 billion worldwide. And I think Andrew Garfield would do it too. He would probably reprise the role, which would be cool. That said, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 has actually gotten kind of a middling reception. It's only like a 55-ish% at Rotten Tomatoes, which is rotten. And so that's a bit of a concern. And as Joe said, it seems like they're overloading with the villains a little. Though it's my understanding that Rhino is in the movie for like 5 to 10 minutes, so he's not really that major of a villain. He's kind of just a guy that Spider-Man takes care of in the beginning of the movie, just to establish things, I guess. But so that's that. I like the cast altogether. Andrew Garfield is a very good Peter Parker. Emma Stone is fantastic and beautiful. I do worry that, spoiler alert, she might die, because she dies in the comics, and there is that scene that keeps popping up in the commercials where she's falling and everything, and she dies by falling in the comics. Well, that's actually a matter of debate, what actually kills her, but anyway, there's a fall involved, and she dies. So, and we already know that Mary Jane is going to be in The Amazing Spider-Man 3, so we'll see what happens to Gwen. But anyway, I'm cautiously optimistic about The Amazing Spider-Man 2. It should, at the very least, be entertaining. I never get tired of Spider-Man doing his thing, and all that. Crawling up walls and
Spider-Maning around. Yeah.
Exactly. Go Web, go! That was the old one.
Yeah, who's that?
I don't know. I'm dating myself with that reference. That movie is 12 years old.
I know.
Wow. As far as box office goes, it seems like the popularity of Spider-Man has waned considerably compared to what used to be. The original trilogy, that they all made over $300 million. And Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 3 both set, at the time, records for biggest opening weekend ever. And then The Amazing Spider-Man 3 fell off from all of those movies quite a bit. Wait, what did I just say? Did I say The Amazing Spider-Man 3? Or did I say The Amazing Spider-Man?
I think you said Spider-Man and Spider-Man 3.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Which was correct.
Right. Yeah.
And then The
I know what you
Amazing.
said after
Okay. Whatever. Anyway, so The Amazing Spider-Man fell off from those, and I don't know. It seems, I always peruse box office message boards and websites for their predictions and everything, and it seems like the general sentiment is that The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is going to make even less than the first one, because it's not like people liked the first one, but it wasn't enough to be yeah, Spider-Man again. It's not like it wasn't enough to fully restore the goodwill of the character and the franchise. So It's really hard to compare because The Amazing Spider-Man opened on a Tuesday, which is really weird, but it was 4th of July weekend, so that's why they did that. And then this one is opening on a Friday. So, prediction-wise, I would probably say like 90 million for the weekend.
I think that wouldn't be bad.
No, it wouldn't, but it's got some competition ahead.
Right. That's true. I think it'll be good for it that at least one of the bigger, I feel like, Neighbors is coming out, and Neighbors is actually getting like glowing reviews.
Yeah.
But I think it benefits that Neighbors comes out next week
Mm-hmm.
instead of a Godzilla or an X-Men Days of Future Past. So I think it's gonna benefit from 2 weeks, and it could be at the top for 2 weeks straight. Which would be
Definitely.
Good.
I don't think Neighbors is going to open above like 40 million.
No, he wouldn't think so. Yeah, but talking about what did the reboot of the franchise do? The Amazing Spider-Man was not Batman Begins, so it's not as if But I don't know. It is trying to make a splash with this second film. It's adding a bunch of villains, and I think it's trying to get to the Sinister Six. I think that's the ultimate goal of this.
Yeah.
Whether it's going to be in this film, I'm guessing no. But I say definitely the next film.
Yeah.
Even in
well, I mean, at the end of this movie, they'll have 4 villains,
Right.
including the Lizard, so they only need to throw in 2 more.
Right. Exactly. So, I mean, that'll be interesting. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I'm excited to see it and be able to talk about it instead of just speculate. But as far as Gwen Stacy, and I always almost call her Gwen Stefani every time I say her name. I think that's it. I think she's gone. I really do, which is sad. And I hope I'm wrong. But like you said, Mary Jane's in the third one.
She was supposed to be in the second one, but they had to cut her scenes out.
Oh, okay. So there you go. And she's falling. And then there's a scene where like Spider-Man's really upset in the trailer, so he's kind of a vengeful guy when people close to him die. So as we all would be. So it's just, I don't know. But we'll have to see the movie. We've been speculating for a really long time about that.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm excited to see how it's going to play out, and I'm excited for this entire month of movies.
Absolutely, it's great. I'd say Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a definite. Neighbors, probably a definite. Godzilla is a definite. Days of Future Past is a definite, and A Million Ways to Die in the West is a strong probably.
Yeah, I would have to say.
But that's a hell of a lot better than it's been so far this year. When we've seen like 3 movies.
That's true. Very true. So,
one of which was Frozen again.
That's true.
That reminds me, Frozen finally passed 400 million. It took it until April, and it came out last Thanksgiving. Yes, it's still in theaters. Disney just let it ride to get it over 400 million.
Or did they let it go?
This guy. Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, Despicable Me 2, it's got to come out with a re-release. I'm telling you.
Just for spite.
Absolutely.
Well, there's no way it's catching Frozen worldwide.
Just the domestic.
Yeah,
just
Frozen's
the domestic.
got a huge lead.
Mm-hmm. Unless they throw in, like, and a special Minion Let It Go or something. It'll be gone. But anyway, that's all we got. Go and see The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and then come back and watch the show next weekend. It's going to be a good show. It's an exciting weekend. It's an exciting month. Have a good week.